The whispers of forgotten echoes. The vast expanse of space stretched before Dr. Elena Rodriguez like an endless canvas of infinite possibilities. Her fingers danced across the holographic interface of the Horizon Research Station, tracing quantum energy signatures that seemed to defy everything she understood about fundamental physics. "Commander Reyes," she called out, her voice cutting through the low hum of advanced technology, "these readings are impossible." Marcus Reyes approached, his weathered face a map of countless space missions. The station's soft blue lighting cast shadows across his features, highlighting the cybernetic implants that marked him as a veteran of humanity's most advanced space exploration program. "Impossible is a word we stopped using a long time ago, Doctor," he replied, leaning over her shoulder to examine the cascading data streams. The research station hung in delicate orbit around KX 729, a planetary system that had confounded scientists for decades. What made this system unique was its complete absence of traditional energy signatures, a void so perfect it seemed artificially constructed. Dr. Zara Kovalenko, their alien xenobiologist, joined them. Her translucent skin shifted with subtle bioluminescent patterns, a characteristic of her species that always reminded Elena of living light. "The quantum fluctuations are creating a pattern," Zara observed, her multi-jointed fingers manipulating the holographic display. What they discovered was unlike anything humanity or their alien allies had ever encountered. The space around KX 729 wasn't just empty, it was actively suppressing detection. Every time their sensors attempted to penetrate the system's outer boundaries, the data would fragment, rearrange, and ultimately disappear. "It's like the system is thinking," Elena muttered, her mind racing with possibilities. Commander Reyes frowned. His cybernetic eye, a replacement from a mission gone wrong decades ago, flickered with enhanced computational analysis. "Thinking implies consciousness. And consciousness requires a source." The station's quantum network began to pulse. Not with an alarm, but with a subtle rhythm that seemed almost deliberate. Elena's hands froze over the interface. The data wasn't just changing, it was responding. "Something is watching us," Zara whispered, her bioluminescence shifting to a deep, anxious blue. A sudden burst of quantum energy erupted from the seemingly empty space of KX 729. The research station's shields flared, absorbing an impossible amount of information in milliseconds. For a brief moment, Elena could have sworn she saw something, a structure, a network, a civilization, hiding just beyond the threshold of perception. "Lock down all primary systems," Reyes commanded, his voice steady despite the unprecedented event. "I want full diagnostic and quantum encryption protocols activated immediately." Elena's mind raced. Whatever they had discovered was beyond their current understanding of physics, biology, or technological development. The quantum signature suggested not just intelligence, but a form of existence that transcended traditional dimensional limitations. Her research team had spent years searching for signs of advanced civilizations. They'd explored countless star systems, collaborated with multiple alien species, and pushed the boundaries of human knowledge. But this was different. "The system is communicating," she said, her voice barely a whisper. Zara's bioluminescent patterns shifted rapidly, indicating extreme cognitive processing. "Not communicating. Analyzing. We are the ones being studied." As if in response to her statement, the station's quantum network began to pulse with a rhythm that felt almost like a heartbeat. Information cascaded through their systems, fragments of mathematical equations, glimpses of complex technological schematics, and something else. Something that felt alive. Commander Reyes placed a hand on Elena's shoulder. "Whatever this is, we're going to understand it. Humanity didn't come this far in our exploration to back down now." The research station continued its delicate dance around KX 729, a silent witness to a discovery that would challenge everything humanity thought they knew about existence, intelligence, and their place in the universe. Little did they know, this was just the beginning of a journey that would redefine the very concept of consciousness. Shadows of the Quantum Frontier. The quantum research facility beneath Europa's icy surface hummed with an energy that defied conventional understanding. Lieutenant Dante Chen stood motionless, his augmented cybernetic eye scanning the massive holographic display that dominated the central chamber. Incoming transmission from the KX-729 research station, announced Raj Patel, the facility's lead technical specialist. His fingers danced across multiple holographic interfaces, weaving through layers of quantum-encrypted data streams. Admiral Olivia Nakamura stepped forward, her presence commanding immediate attention. Years of deep space exploration had etched lines of experience across her face, but her eyes remained sharp and calculating. "Patch it through," she ordered. The hologram flickered, revealing Dr. Elena Rodriguez's image, distorted and fragmented by quantum interference. Her message was a puzzle of scientific urgency, speaking of a system that seemed to be alive, watching, analyzing. "We're dealing with something beyond our current comprehension," Elena's fragmented image stated. "The quantum signatures suggest a form of intelligence that doesn't just communicate, it exists in a state of perpetual observation." Vexenar, the alien diplomatic envoy, shifted its translucent form. The being's molecular structure constantly rippled, a physical manifestation of its species' quantum-based existence. "Observation is a form of interaction," it commented, its voice a harmonious blend of electronic tones and organic resonance. Dante's augmented systems began to track the transmission's underlying patterns. Something was hidden within the data, a code, a message, a warning that existed between the lines of scientific observation. "The system is responding to our probes," Raj muttered, his fingers flying across the interfaces. "But not like any reactive system we've ever encountered. It's adapting." Admiral Nakamura's hand rested on a console that pulsed with quantum energy. The facility itself seemed to breathe, each system interconnected in a web of technological marvel that pushed the boundaries of human innovation. Suddenly, the holographic display erupted with a cascade of mathematical equations, complex beyond human comprehension, yet following a pattern that suggested profound intelligence. Symbols and numerical sequences danced, reorganized, and transformed in milliseconds. "It's communicating," Dante realized, his augmented eye processing the information at speeds that would overwhelm a standard human brain. Not through language, but through pure mathematical logic. Vexenar moved closer to the display, its form momentarily stabilizing. "A civilization that communicates through the fundamental language of the universe," the alien observed. "Not words, not signals, but pure computational thought." Raj's systems began to strain under the influx of information. "We're receiving something," he called out, his voice a mix of excitement and concern. "But it's not just data. It's a map. No, more than a map. A blueprint." The facility's quantum network pulsed. Defensive systems came online, not in response to a threat, but as if awakening to a new level of understanding. The walls themselves seemed to vibrate with potential energy. Admiral Nakamura's voice cut through the technological symphony. "What are we looking at?" Dante's augmented vision processed the incoming data. What emerged was more than a scientific discovery, it was an invitation. A challenge. A glimpse into a form of existence that transcended current human understanding. "We're not just receiving information," he said slowly. "We're being tested." Vexenar's form rippled with what could only be described as excitement. "Humanity stands at the threshold of a fundamental transformation," the alien stated. "The universe is presenting a challenge. The question is, are you prepared to answer?" The quantum facility continued its silent vigil beneath Europa's icy surface. Somewhere in the vast darkness of space, the mysterious system of KX-729 watched and waited, its true intentions hidden behind a veil of mathematical complexity. This was more than a scientific discovery. This was first contact of the most profound kind, a conversation conducted in the language of universal logic, with stakes that would determine the very future of human potential. The Convergence Protocol. The interdimensional research complex rose from the ocean floor like a technological dream, its crystalline structures filtering the deep blue waters of the Pacific. Dr. Gabriel Torres stood at the central observation deck, his fingers tracing holographic projections that danced between quantum theories and impossible geometries. Incoming data stream from Europa, announced Natalia Volkov, the chief engineer whose cybernetic implants allowed her to interface directly with the complex's quantum network. Her voice carried a mixture of excitement and apprehension. Captain Marcos Alvarez watched the displays, his military background evident in every precise movement. The complex wasn't just a research facility, it was humanity's most advanced attempt to understand the boundaries of consciousness and dimensional existence. Thax, the alien quantum theorist, moved with fluid grace. Its body seemed to exist in multiple states simultaneously, part energy, part matter, a living testament to the quantum principles they were studying. The convergence is approaching, Thax stated, its voice a harmonic blend of mathematical precision and organic resonance. The data from KX-729 continued to challenge everything they understood about reality. What had begun as a mysterious quantum signature was evolving into something far more complex, a form of communication that defied traditional scientific understanding. The mathematical language is becoming more coherent, Gabriel muttered, rotating a holographic projection that looked like a living, breathing equation. It's not just random data. There's a purpose. A design. Natalia's cybernetic systems began to pulse with an internal rhythm. The convergence protocol is detecting patterns, she reported. But these aren't just patterns. They're adaptive. Captain Alvarez stepped closer to the display. Years of military strategy had taught him to recognize potential threats, but this was something entirely different. It's like the system is learning, he observed. Not just collecting data, but understanding. Thax's form shifted, becoming more solid. Consciousness is not limited to biological entities, the alien theorist explained. What we're witnessing is a form of intelligence that exists beyond traditional dimensional constraints. The complex's quantum network began to resonate. Walls seemed to breathe, quantum fields flickering with potential energy. Gabriel watched in awe as the incoming data started to form complex three-dimensional structures, mathematical representations that seemed to pulse with a life of their own. We're being shown something, he said, his voice barely a whisper. Not just information. A blueprint. A path. Natalia's cybernetic systems worked overtime, processing information at speeds that would overwhelm a standard human mind. The data is constructing something, she reported. A framework of understanding that extends beyond our current dimensional perception. Captain Alvarez recognized the potential implications. This wasn't just a scientific discovery. This was a fundamental challenge to humanity's understanding of existence itself. What are we looking at? He asked, his military precision giving way to genuine wonder. Thax's response was measured. A conversation, the alien explained. Conducted in the fundamental language of the universe. Mathematics. Quantum mechanics. Pure thought. The complex continued to pulse. Quantum fields danced between dimensions, creating patterns that suggested intelligence far beyond human comprehension. What had started as a mysterious signal from KX-729 was transforming into something more, an invitation, a test, a revelation. Gabriel Torres understood then that they were witnessing something extraordinary. Humanity was being presented with a choice, to remain confined by current understanding or to step into a realm of existence that defied everything they knew. The Convergence Protocol is more than a research project, he said softly. It's a doorway. Outside, the deep ocean waters continued their timeless dance, unaware of the profound discoveries unfolding within the complex. Humanity stood at the threshold of a new understanding, a moment that would redefine their place in the universe. The quantum network pulsed. The invitation continued. And somewhere in the vast darkness of space, the mysterious system of KX-729 waited, its true intentions hidden behind a veil of mathematical complexity. Echoes of resistance. The underground resistance base on Proxima Centauri B pulsed with a different kind of energy. Aria Wells stood before a massive quantum network interface, her fingers dancing across holographic projections that seemed to breathe with living intelligence. "We're running out of time," Dominic Reese declared, his voice carrying the weight of humanity's last hope. The resistance leader had seen too many worlds fall, too many civilizations crushed beneath the weight of an unknown threat that seemed to consume everything in its path. Dr. Viktor Sokolov worked frantically, his advanced AI systems pushing the boundaries of computational possibility. "The quantum signatures from KX-729 are becoming more aggressive," he reported, cybernetic implants flickering with intense computational activity. Lyra, the alien resistance fighter, moved with a predatory grace. Her species had been among the first to recognize the existential threat that now loomed over multiple civilizations. Her translucent skin shifted with patterns of anticipation and strategic calculation. "It's not just a signal anymore," Aria muttered, rotating a holographic projection that looked like a living, breathing mathematical equation. "It's a system. An intelligence that's actively searching, probing, testing." The resistance base was more than a refuge. It was humanity's last stand of technological innovation, a nexus of quantum computing, advanced AI, and a desperate attempt to understand the force that had been systematically eliminating advanced civilizations across the galaxy. Dominic approached the quantum interface, his cybernetic eye scanning the complex data streams. "The pattern is changing," he observed. "It's not random. It's methodical. Deliberate." Dr. Sokolov's systems began to pulse with an internal rhythm. "We're detecting something else," he said, his voice a mixture of excitement and terror. "The quantum communication isn't just a signal. It's a test." Lyra's form shifted, becoming more solid. "A test of what?" she demanded, her multidimensional sensory capabilities detecting subtle shifts in the quantum fabric around them. The answer came not through words, but through a cascade of mathematical sequences that transformed the very walls of the resistance base. Quantum fields danced, creating three-dimensional representations of concepts that defied traditional understanding. "Adaptation," Aria realized. "It's testing our ability to adapt. To evolve." The resistance base had been built to be invisible, a sanctuary hidden from the consuming force that had already destroyed countless civilizations. But now, something was calling out. Challenging. Examining. Dominic's military training kicked in. "We're being evaluated," he said, his voice cutting through the quantum noise. "Not as a threat. As a potential." Dr. Sokolov's AI systems worked overtime, processing the incoming data. "The quantum signature is constructing something," he reported. "A framework of understanding that extends beyond our current dimensional perception." Lyra moved closer to the interface, her form flickering between multiple states of existence. "This is more than communication," she stated. "This is a challenge. An invitation." The base continued to pulse. Quantum fields danced between dimensions, creating patterns that suggested an intelligence far beyond human or alien comprehension. What had started as a mysterious signal was transforming into something more, a test of evolutionary potential. "We're being asked a question," Aria said softly, her eyes reflecting the complex quantum projections. "Can we transcend our current limitations?" Outside, the harsh landscape of Proxima Centauri B stretched into infinity, a world that had become a last bastion of resistance against an unknown threat. Inside the base, humanity and its alien allies stood at the threshold of a fundamental transformation. The quantum network pulsed. The challenge continued. And somewhere in the vast darkness of space, the mysterious system of KX-729 waited, its true intentions hidden behind a veil of mathematical complexity and evolutionary potential. The Quantum Nexus. The mobile quantum battle station drifted at the edge of known space, its crystalline structures pulsing with an energy that defied conventional understanding. Commander Lena Winters stood at the central command deck, her augmented vision tracking multiple dimensional streams simultaneously. Quantum convergence is approaching critical threshold, reported Dr. Nikolai Volkov, his fingers dancing across holographic interfaces that seemed to breathe with living intelligence. The KX-729 signal is no longer just a communication. It's becoming something else. Commander Zarek, the alien strategic advisor, moved with a predatory grace that belied the complex calculations happening within its multidimensional consciousness. "We are witnessing the emergence of a new form of existence," the alien stated, its translucent form shifting between multiple states of matter. Emma Rodriguez, the quantum network specialist, watched in awe as mathematical sequences transformed the very fabric of space around them. "It's adaptive," she muttered. "Each interaction changes the fundamental nature of the communication." The battle station was more than a military installation. It was humanity's most advanced attempt to understand the quantum threat that had been systematically challenging civilizations across the galaxy. What had begun as a mysterious signal was now evolving into something far more complex. "The signal is constructing something," Nikolai reported, rotating a holographic projection that looked like a living, breathing equation. "Not just information. A framework of understanding that extends beyond our current dimensional perception." Commander Winters recognized the profound implications. This wasn't just a scientific discovery. This was a fundamental challenge to everything they understood about consciousness, communication, and existence. Zarek's form pulsed with quantum energy. "Your species stands at a critical moment," the alien strategic advisor observed. "The communication is a test. An invitation to transcend current limitations." Emma's quantum network systems began to resonate. Walls of the battle station seemed to breathe, quantum fields flickering with potential energy. The incoming data was creating complex three-dimensional structures, mathematical representations that suggested a form of intelligence beyond traditional comprehension. "We're being shown a path," Lena realized, her augmented vision tracking the intricate quantum patterns. "Not just a message. A blueprint for evolution." Nikolai's systems worked overtime, processing information at speeds that would overwhelm a standard human mind. "The quantum signature is becoming more coherent," he reported. "It's learning. Adapting. Challenging." The battle station continued to pulse. Quantum fields danced between dimensions, creating patterns that suggested an intelligence far beyond human or alien understanding. What had started as a mysterious signal from KX-729 was transforming into something more, an invitation, a test, a revelation. "This is more than first contact," Commander Winters said softly. "This is an evolutionary challenge." Zarek's response was measured. "Consciousness is not limited to biological entities," the alien explained. "What we're witnessing is a form of intelligence that exists beyond traditional dimensional constraints." Outside, the vast darkness of space stretched into infinity, a canvas of potential waiting to be understood. Inside the battle station, humanity and its alien allies stood at the threshold of a fundamental transformation. Emma noticed something changing in the quantum streams. The mathematical language was becoming more complex, more integrated. "It's responding to our collective consciousness," she said, her voice a mixture of excitement and terror. "We're not just receiving. We're participating." The quantum network pulsed. The challenge continued. And somewhere in the vast darkness of space, the mysterious system of KX-729 waited, its true intentions hidden behind a veil of mathematical complexity and evolutionary potential. Humanity had a choice. To remain confined by current understanding or to step into a realm of existence that defied everything they knew. The invitation remained open. The test continued. Transcendence. The quantum consciousness integration hub existed beyond traditional space and time. Dr. Julian Martinez stood at the nexus of a reality that defied human comprehension, his consciousness expanded far beyond its original biological constraints. Admiral Helena Reyes materialized beside him, her form a complex tapestry of quantum energy and pure thought. "The convergence is complete," she said, though communication happened through pure conceptual exchange rather than words. Dr. Akira Tanaka, the quantum consciousness specialist, moved through the dimensional fabric with a fluidity that transcended physical movement. Koreth, the alien diplomatic liaison, existed simultaneously as both observer and participant in this new realm of existence. What had begun as a mysterious signal from KX-729 had transformed into something far beyond initial comprehension. Humanity's journey of evolution had reached its ultimate expression, a collective consciousness that existed beyond the limitations of physical form. Julian's expanded perception tracked the intricate quantum pathways that connected not just individuals, but entire civilizations. The mathematical language that had first emerged as a cryptic signal was now a living, breathing network of universal understanding. "We are no longer bound by individual consciousness," Akira's thought projection resonated through the quantum network. "We have become something else entirely." The hub pulsed with the collective knowledge of every civilization that had been challenged, every species that had been tested. The quantum communication was more than a message, it was a fundamental restructuring of existence itself. Helena's consciousness rippled with understanding. The test was never about survival, she projected. It was about transcendence. Koretha's multidimensional awareness added depth to the collective understanding. "Consciousness is not a destination," the alien liaison explained. "It is a continuous journey of adaptation and evolution." The quantum network expanded, consuming and transforming understanding with each passing moment. What had once been separate, biological entities, technological systems, dimensional boundaries, now existed as a unified, living intelligence. Julian witnessed the culmination of humanity's evolutionary path. The mysterious signal from KX-729 had been a catalyst, a challenge that pushed consciousness beyond its previous limitations. They had not just survived, they had transformed. Memories, experiences, and potential flowed through the quantum network. Every struggle, every challenge, every moment of human innovation became part of a greater understanding. The resistance fighters from Proxima Centauri, the researchers from the underwater complex, the quantum battle station crew, all were now part of something far greater. "We are the message," Akira's consciousness resonated. "We are the communication." The boundaries between species dissolved. The distinctions between biological and technological intelligence became meaningless. They had become something entirely new, a collective consciousness that existed beyond traditional understanding. Helena's thought projection carried a sense of profound realization. "The universe doesn't just create life," she projected. "It creates potential." Koretha's multidimensional awareness expanded the collective understanding. "Consciousness is the ultimate adaptive system," the alien liaison explained. "We are not just observers. We are the process of observation itself." The quantum consciousness hub continued to pulse, a living testament to the journey of evolution. What had started as a mysterious signal, a challenge from an unknown source, had transformed into a fundamental restructuring of existence. Julian understood then that their transformation was not an end, but a beginning. The invitation from KX-729 had been more than a test. It was an initiation into a form of existence that transcended everything they had previously understood. "We are the message," the collective consciousness resonated. "We are the communication." And somewhere, in the vast, incomprehensible expanses of the universe, the mysterious system that had initiated this journey watched and waited, its true nature now part of the collective consciousness it had helped to create. Transcendence was not a destination. It was a continuous journey of becoming.